I'm in the rainforest today, giving you my lesson because we're learning about the rainforest. So why not go there, right? It's really hot and steamy here. So, oh, I should wipe my face, but if I'm looking a little hot, sweaty, it's because it's hot and steamy in the rainforest. It rains so much and there's lots of sun, so you might see the sun. Right now it's very sunny. I don't know if you could tell, but it's very sunny. And luckily it's not raining, so I'm hoping there won't be any rain, but I can hear a lot of animals, birds, and the water. There's water all over the place, little streams and waterfalls. The rainforest is a really cool place. But before I forget, two people want to say hi to you, Dolly and Lolly. They've missed you guys. It's pretty lonely here, and Dolly's bummed because she can't do any jokes. She can only move the mustache around, and she can do jokes on me, but I'm not always here. So, Dolly and Lolly, say hello. Hey, Lolly. So anyway, here we are in the rainforest, and the rainforest is full of lots and lots of, as we talked about yesterday, plants and animals and lizards and frogs and bugs and butterflies. As you can see, I've got quite a few friends here with me. The king of the jungle, the jaguar. I have the little cute red-eyed tree frog that you saw on the poster behind me yesterday. There are monkeys. There's one right above me, and lizards and snakes slithering up the sides of the trees. There's even coconuts. Maybe I'll have one for lunch later. Who knows? And I've worn my kapok tree necklace. Isn't that beautiful? I think one of you gave this to me at Christmas time, and it's just a beautiful necklace to wear today because we talked about the kapok tree yesterday. Now in the story yesterday, there were lots of animals that came to the man, remember, who was going to chop down the kapok tree, and that's what's happening to the rainforest right now, and that's why we really need to take care of it. They are chopping and burning down the rainforest. Here are some examples. See this family? They are chopping down the rainforest because they want to have a cattle farm. Let's see if I can find that cattle farm. See, they go right in the middle and they do crops and they do a cattle farm. And they want to chop it down. Now look at this picture. In the background, the jungle, the rainforest is gorgeous and lush and green, and there are lots of animals there. But in the front, they've been chopping it down. So if I had to choose about which one I liked better, I of course would prefer this to this. It's so sad. The other thing they do is they're chopping it down, and they're using chainsaws to chop down the rainforest. Not only is it destructive and kills the trees, it scares the animals. Because if you've ever heard a chainsaw, it's really loud. They take the big, beautiful trees. See how big those trees are? That means they were really, really, really old. And that's very sad because you can't just chop it down and think it's going to grow again. It takes a long time to grow. Look at that. Just awful. And another thing they do is they take bulldozers. When a tree is just too big, they just go ahead and grab a bulldozer and bulldoze it down. And I've got another picture over here where they burn it. They set fire to it. And that's so frightening because if there are animals using the rainforest for their home and there's a fire, it's hard for them to get out. Where do they go? What do? This is their home. These trees, these bushes, these shrubs, these little nooks and crannies everywhere are the homes, the water, homes for all these animals that live there. Next picture I'm going to show you is really sad. It's of a little sloth, and this little sloth was clinging to a tree because it was with its mommy, and the tree fell down, and the mommy knew to jump and run away, but the baby didn't, because the baby thought, I gotta stay by my mommy, and the baby didn't. And the baby was found by the people who came in and said, hey, you can't chop down or burn down the forest, and luckily the little baby was saved, but he was separated from his mommy. And that happened a lot. A lot of the animals were separated from their moms. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being separated from your mom? Oh, it's terrible. So I just want to remind you what the rainforest should look like. Look at all the plants. I can't even count how many different plants and trees are in this picture. And then this picture is a really cool piece. If you went into the rainforest, there are lots of interesting things like this. And of course the kapok tree. The kapok tree that grows as tall as the clouds almost. And waterfalls. Lots and lots of waterfalls. And there are lots of resources in the rainforest. We get lots of fruits like coconuts and mangoes and pineapples. Lots of different kinds of fruits come from the rainforest, as do things that help with medicine, and all the animals. Again, the animals, the plants, insects, everything. And then there are the people that live in the rainforest. They are called the Yanomamo Indians, and the rainforest is their home. And every time somebody comes in to chop it down, they're destroying their home too. Not just the animals, they're destroying their homes. And they depend on the rainforest for their food and their medicines and for where they live. It's just where they live. It's very sad. Look at how cute those kids are. They're just like you. They're your same age. That's their school. Now I was telling you there are some things that you get from the rainforest. I'm going to read you the things we get from the rainforest. Bananas, plantains, pineapples, sweet potatoes, coffee. I bet your moms and dads love coffee. Tea, chocolate. Who doesn't love chocolate? Avocados, one of my favorites. Sugar. Sugar comes from sugar cane, and there's a lot of that at the rainforest. Grapefruit, passion fruit, yams, papaya, palm oil, dates, cashews, Brazil nuts. We get lots of nuts, peanuts, coconuts, okra, lime, cassava, which is a really great squash. I've been eating that a lot. Mango, rice, lemons, oranges. We get rubber from rubber trees, and we get gum. Gum comes from stuff that comes from the rainforest, and all sorts of spices like vanilla, cinnamon, and nutmeg, and all of the things that Miss Gretchen would use in her baking. So it's not just the animals and the plants, it's where we get a lot of the ingredients for our medicines that keep us healthy. But the most important thing that the rainforest brings to us, and one of the, I think it was the anteaters whispered it in the man's ear, is oxygen. Oxygen is what we need to breathe. We need oxygen to breathe, and the photosynthesis from the plants provide us oxygen. So that's the number one thing that we need it for. Now, I told you there are two things that are bad that's happening to the rainforest right now. They are chopping it down and they are burning it down, because some people think that they need to have a farm to grow cows. And that's great if people want to have a farm, but don't chop down the rainforest. Find somewhere else, because there are a lot of things in the rainforest that are not going to stay alive. They're not going to grow back like Christmas trees or some of the trees that we have here. They take years and years to grow back, and if they're cut out of the jungle, they may never come back. So we often say once it's gone forever. And I'm not kidding. And that means some species of animals too, and species of plants. And what if one of those species of plants is something we need for some of our medicine? We really got to take care of it. Speaking of animals, first I want to talk to you about frogs. I mentioned it a little bit yesterday that frogs, there are lots of frogs in the forest, the rainforest. Most of the frogs will be green, like this red-eyed tree frog. But a lot of the other frogs are all different colors, like red and blue and orange and yellow. Now, important thing to know if you happen to go to the rainforest. If the frog is green, it's kind of like saying go. It's okay to touch the frog. But if a frog is all red or all blue or all orange or all yellow, that's probably a poison dart frog. And poison means, yes, it's poisonous. So if you see a frog that's a different color than green, stop. Warning, I'm poisonous. That's what the color means on it. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about was the blue morpho butterfly. I pointed that out in the kapok tree butterfly part where the bee was whispering to him. Blue morpho butterflies are blue, and if you've been to the state fair, you may have gone into the butterfly tent, and they have blue morpho butterflies there. The outside of their wings are really shiny. They're iridescent. They're kind of shiny and they kind of glow this beautiful blue. But when they land, their wings are brown. And the interesting thing about the blue morpho butterfly is, see all those dots on there? If a predator comes along, like a bird, and the blue morpho is flying, the bird will go, ooh, that looks like a yummy treat, and it'll go to eat it, and maybe the blue morpho will land and go like this, and the bird will think, oh my goodness, that's a monster, it's got so many eyes, I'm not gonna eat that, and it'll fly away. So that's its camouflage. That's how it protects itself from predators. Beautiful, scary. No eyes, lots of eyes. So if you can, maybe look up the blue morpho butterfly. It is a beautiful, beautiful creature. The other one I want to talk to you about is the jaguar. The jaguar, and I think we mentioned that in the story too. The jaguar is the king of the jungle, and his spots are another way of camouflage. Usually they have kind of an orangish fur, but their spots kind of blend into the background of the rainforest, so it's their way to sneak along. And especially jaguars are mostly night creatures that come out at night to hunt for food, so the spots really help to keep them camouflaged. Another thing I want to talk to you about is piranhas. Piranhas are a fish found in the rainforest, and they swim around in packs. They attack their prey in packs, and they have lots of little teeth. Oh, I'll show you a picture. And the fun thing about the piranhas is they have a really weird jaw. Their jaw on the bottom kind of protrudes outwards. See that picture? So the jaw kind of goes out like this. So in our classroom, we always talk about the piranha pose. And the piranha pose, you want to pull your jaw forward, not the top jaw, the bottom jaw, and then you put your teeth up, and then you can be a piranha. And this is how you do it. Can you do that? If you can do that, maybe have mom or dad take a picture and send it to me, your piranha pose. Piranhas have lots of little teeth, and when they attack their prey, which is other fish, they kind of like just eat the fish up. It's icky, but it happens. Oh, here's a poison dart frog. Now that is a blue one. That one you would say, stop, warning, I'm poisonous. And let me see if I can show you the butterfly. There's the blue morpho butterfly. It's so beautiful. It's much more beautiful if you can see a picture of it. And the basilisk. There's a lizard, believe it or not, called a basilisk that can run on the water. It runs so fast that it just runs right across the water. So if a predator is trying to kill it or eat it, it just runs away right across the water. And that's another thing maybe you can look up. I'm hoping to find the video that we would have been watching, National Geographic video about the rainforest, and it has a basilisk running on the water. And then the last one I want to talk to you about is the sloth. Oh, I wish you guys were here. This is my little sloth friend, and she is so soft. Oh, you guys, you would just be snuggling her. You would love to hold her. She's so, so soft. And the interesting thing about sloths is they are two-toed and three-toed. So this one is a three-toed. They are very slow. They move like this. I'm not kidding. They move so slow. And if they ever open up the Como Conservatory again, you can go and see the sloth there. If you're lucky, you can see her climbing down to eat. She climbs so slowly. I'm forgetting what her name is. Zoe, I think her name is Chloe. Chloe the sloth. But the other interesting thing about sloths is because they move so slowly, they get green fur. And the way they get green fur is, since they're moving so slowly, seeds from the trees and the bushes and the plants that they are on fall into their fur. And then you get the sunshine and you get the rain affecting their fur too. Their fur kind of acts like dirt, because you know that's the third thing you need to grow things. You need dirt, sunshine, and water. And so the seeds kind of plant themselves into his fur or her fur, and then it rains and gets the seeds wet. And then the sun comes out when the sloth is probably sleeping or moving slowly. And that's why the sloth gets green fur. It's really funny. Normally they have this kind of brown fur, but I'm telling you, this little sloth is so soft. The other things I wanted to tell you about are just reminding you that they're chopping down the rainforest and burning it down. And those are two of the bad things. We don't want them doing that. We don't want them chopping and burning. The phrase that I said earlier, once it's gone forever. Oh, here's my little cheat sheet. Once it's gone forever. It is hot and steamy in the rainforest. Let's see. Who's the king of the rainforest? The jaguar. What are some things that come from the rainforest? Coffee, gum, lemons, cinnamon, nutmeg. Oh, and the belt of the earth is called the equator. Remember, it runs along the middle of the belt. It runs right along here, and that's where all the rainforests fall. And the rainforests, unfortunately, are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And once they're gone forever. Again, a lot of things that come from the rainforest, they take a long time to grow, and there are thousands of animals and plants that grow there. So maybe just look up some things about the rainforest. Maybe get a recording like I did of the rainforest sounds that you can play in the background, so you can kind of pretend like you're in the rainforest. I wish you could be in this rainforest here at the preschool, because I always put it up every year, and I play sounds like that so you could come in here and read stories and stuff. So sun's shining. I hope you can get outside. It's supposed to be nice and warm today, and tomorrow we will talk a little bit more about rainforests. I'll show you some more animals that come from the rainforest. I'll give you a quiz, so remember to make sure that you listened to I already gave you the answers to all the questions, so you should be able to answer those. And don't forget to send me a picture that you've drawn, or just tell me, or take a picture, find a picture online of your favorite rainforest animal. Is it a sloth? Is it a jaguar? Is it the frog? Is it a parrot? Is it the piranha? I'd love to see your pictures. I'd love to see your faces, and hopefully I'll talk to you, or I'll send you another video tomorrow. Bye.